सुनहरी सुबह की लालियों, खिलखिलाती डालियों, तुम अमर उदय की लाली से मेरा अंगना रंग डालियों।
अमिताशा, नन्हे जीवन की आशा।
देखा है मैंने भी देखा है सपना, मैंने देखा सपना। देखा है मैंने भी देखा है सपना, सपना देखा है मैंने देखा सपना।
I welcome all the listeners to Radio Amity 107.8 FM. Today is 24th January, the National Day of the Girl Child. And those who have joined us recently, I want to wish them all a very happy Girl Child Day. Amitasha, along with Radio Amity 107.8 FM, is celebrating the National Day of the Girl Child. And I am your RJ, Rahul Kapoor. I am joined by Dr. S.K. Pachauri, who has an extremely decorated profile. He is a retired IAS officer and also the former head of Amity Institute of Good Governance. Also joining me is Mrs. Aparna Goel. Mrs. Aparna Goel is a determined, motivated and resourceful social worker. She is also the founder of Prabhav, an educational and social sansthan. I also have with me Jyoti Chaurasia and Poonam Jha, who are students of class 11th of Amitasha School. The topic on agenda today is the importance of imparting right hygiene awareness, nutrition and education to the girl children in India. Firstly, I would like to welcome all the panelists to this special talk show which we are hosting on the eve of the National Day of the Girl Child. Welcome everyone.
Thank you.
A special welcome to Amitasha girls. You both depict the change which we can achieve if we prioritize the three important aspects required for the overall development of girl children in India: proper hygiene, right nutrition and education for girl children in India. My first question is for you, Dr. Pachauri. You were the head of Department of Faculty of Social Science in Amity Institute of Good Governance. Was the academic curriculum or the practical practices inclusive of the topics like proper education and nutrition for girl children in India?
Yes, very much so. There is a very broad perspective that is given to the students here in the Amity Institute of Social Sciences, and especially because the students are doing two courses, Bachelor of Social Work and Masters of Social Work, and they are compulsorily have to go for village visits and field training. So it's part of their curriculum to go and watch on ground what is actually happening.
Before I jump to my next question, I would request Mrs. Aparna Goel to give our listeners an overview of her NGO Prabhav and how does her initiative helps girl children and especially the less privileged ones.
Thank you, Rahul. I, Aparna Goel, founder of Prabhav NGO, and my NGO just aims at the quality education provided to the underprivileged children, irrespective of girls and boys both. Because I think that the basic education that is called elementary education should be imparted to them both equally, as they are the two wheels of the society which can run on in balance if this. But especially in girl children, right, we are there to increase the hygiene awareness amongst the girl child, because it is very important for them to look for their hygiene as they are the center of the family. And if we rightly inculcate in them that what is the fact of hygiene, if they are hygiene friendly, they can look after their family very effectively.
That's a very good point which you have made, Mrs. Aparna Goel. In fact, I would like to add here that our chairperson of Amity Group of Schools, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, who has kept the foundation for Amitasha School, also believes that girls are the cornerstones of the family, and we are on the same page on that thought. I have Poonam with me, who is an Amitasha student of class 11. Amitasha School ने आपको अच्छी शिक्षा प्राप्त करने का मौका दिया है. आज आप अपने अंदर क्या चेंज महसूस करती हैं और आपको क्या लगता है आपके अंदर जितने भी पॉजिटिव चेंजेस आए हैं उसमें एजुकेशन का एक बहुत बड़ा रोल रहा है और किस तरीके से?
मैंने बहुत सारी चेंजेस देखी अपने में जो पहले नहीं थी. तो इसमें एजुकेशन का बहुत ज़्यादा ही पार्ट है, क्योंकि जब मैंने पहले पढ़ाई शुरू नहीं की थी, इससे पहले इस स्कूल में आने से पहले, तो मेरे साथ सबसे बड़ी चीज़ तो थी हाइजीन, जो कि था ही नहीं मेरे पास। और मैं दूसरों को कैसे बताती हाइजीन के बारे में, वो भी चीज़ बिल्कुल नहीं थी। तो एजुकेशन का इसमें मेन रोल है। एजुकेशन से मुझे बहुत अच्छी शिक्षा मिली, इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में, सारी चीज़ों के बारे में जानकारियाँ मिली कि हाइजीन क्या होता है। और उसके साथ साथ हमारी जो हेल्थ है वो भी बहुत ही ज़रूरी है। हम जो भी काम करते हैं उसमें हेल्थ का तो होना बहुत ही अच्छी बात है। तो एजुकेशन सबके लिए बहुत ही मस्ट है।
ज्योति भी हमारे साथ हैं। ज्योति, मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूँगा कि जिस सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी से आप आती हैं, आपने ऐसी बहुत सी लड़कियाँ देखी होंगी अपने आस पड़ोस में जिनके पेरेंट्स उनको नहीं भेजते स्कूल। क्या कारण आपको लगते हैं, क्योंकि आप वहाँ पे रहती हैं, आप हमें अच्छा से बता सकती हैं जिसकी वजह से उनके पेरेंट्स उनको नहीं स्कूल भेजते, और कैसे हम उनके पेरेंट्स की थिंकिंग चेंज कर सकते हैं या फिर उन कारणों को मिटा सकते हैं?
देयर आर लॉट ऑफ फैक्टर्स जिसकी वजह से लड़कियां स्कूल नहीं जा पाती हैं। द फर्स्ट वन इज़ देयर सर्कमस्टांसेस। जो उनकी आर्थिक स्थिति है वो इतनी अच्छी नहीं है जो वो अपने बच्चों को पढ़ाने के लिए भेज सकें, और इसलिए ऐसे उन्हें मैंडेटरी जो शिक्षा होती है जो सबके लिए बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है वो भी नहीं मिल पाती। दूसरा रीज़न इसका ये हो सकता है कि लोगों के मन में ये मेंटालिटी है कि गर्ल्स आर ओनली फॉर द हाउस होल्ड वर्क, उन्हें बाहर किसी पढ़ाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वैसे भी उन्हें शादी करके घर का काम ही करना है। तो ये भी दूसरा रीज़न है। और तीसरा रीज़न ये है कि दे रियली फील दैट देयर गर्ल्स आर नॉट सेफ, तो उन्हें पढ़ाने के लिए वो बाहर भेजना नहीं चाहते। तो ऐसे और भी बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स हैं, बट दीज 3 आर द मेन फैक्टर्स जो उन्हें पढ़ाने के लिए मना करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से उनके पेरेंट्स उन्हें पढ़ाने के लिए मना करते हैं।
मिसेस अपर्णा गोयल, क्या आप सहमत हैं ज्योति से? आपको लगता है वो सही कह रही हैं? और क्या कारण है जो आपने देखा जिनकी वजह से हमारी देश की बच्चियां पढ़ाई नहीं कर पा रही हैं?
I think I agree that what Jyoti said, that why parents are not sending their girls to school for reading, that the first and foremost reason behind this is the economic situation. They need to go to work to earn money to feed their kids, and if there are younger brother or sisters in that house, the elder girl of that house is just there to look after them, because their mother is away at work and they need to get food in the evening when she will come back. This is the main reason why they don't want to send their girls to school if they have a elder child as a girl in their family. Second one, their mentality also. They think that what is the use of education for us, because we are living in this type of arena that where we are treated as untouchables, and if we get education that will not change us much, because they are not experiencing the change by education in their locality, because there are less girls who are successful by education in their area. This is the main reason why they are not sending their girls to school, in spite of many counselings and all. 1 or 2 days, or let's say up to 5th class, they will send their girls to school, as they are at that age when they come at the menstruation age, when the hygiene comes, and in rural areas most of the schools don't have girls toilet basically. The dropout rate is more higher in rural areas because not having the toilets, because every girl, when she begins to menstruate, she needs to have a private place to use as a washroom, and her need is different. Up to 5th class it is okay if he shares the same washroom where the boys goes, but after 6th it is not. So this is the main reason that they don't send their girls to school.
So Mrs. Aparna, you have raised some very good points there. The first point which you raised is that the mindset of the parents is what we need to target. Your views on it, Mr. Pachauri?
Actually, an institution like Amitasha is the place where mindsets can be changed. You see, here in Amitasha, what happens is that they are given free medical care, they're given free meals, they're given good ethics. These are some of the great values which are taught in Amitasha. And because of these values, children can look forward to a better future. And in Amitasha also, hygiene is a very important factor, and the more important stress is on personality development and enhancing value systems. You have very dedicated teachers, very highly experienced, and there is an emphasis on arts and crafts in Amitasha, integrated right up to class 9. And the loving care of the chairperson is a very great factor which brings about the change. Chairperson monitors the situation day to day, week by week, month by month. The chairperson is doing such a great job that she hardly has time for anything else. So if you have that kind of concentrated attention, results will show. And the most important thing is that they are given a international kind of an education. There is this mini United Nations experience which is given to the children in Amitasha, which is there nowhere in India. Do you see that such children are given such a high quality education and high values?
So पूनम, हमने सुना जैसे डॉक्टर पचौरी ने बात करी कि मिनी यूनाइटेड नेशंस का एक्सपीरियंस मिला है आपको एमिटी इंटरनेशनल मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशंस का। क्या आप उस एक्सपीरियंस को शेयर करना चाहेंगी हमारे लिसनर्स के साथ? क्या सीखा आपने, क्या अलग देखा वहाँ पे आपने?
मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशन में वहाँ पर एक प्रोजेक्ट होता है जो एक एजेंडा हमें तैयार करना होता है, उस पर हमें बोलना होता है। और सबसे बड़ी बात तो ये है कि उसमें हमारी बोलने की जो बोलने की स्थिति होती है वो डेवलप होती है, कितना अच्छा हम बोल सकते हैं। और वहाँ पे बहुत सारे प्राइजेस भी मिलते हैं। जितना अच्छा हमने बोला, जितना ट्रू होता है वो टॉपिक, उसके ऊपर हमें पूरा वो प्रोजेक्ट हमें दिया जाता है। प्रिपरेशन का भी डे दिया जाता है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें उसमें हैं। और मेन थिंग तो ये है कि जब हम कोई चीज़ बोल रहे होते हैं तो वहाँ पे जितने भी लोग होते हैं, कम से कम 100-200 तक एक कमेटी में होते हैं, जो कि वहाँ पर हमें सुनते हैं कि हम क्या बोल रहे हैं। तो एक तरह से ये हमारे जो बोलने का एक तरीका है वो डेवलप होता है बहुत अच्छे से।
Dr. Pachori, my next question is to you. You have been in government services and you have very closely seen the implementation of government policies aimed at the overall development of girl children. Do you think that we are there or still a lot needs to be done from government's end?
You see, there is a very fundamental kind of a commitment that we have. The Indian Constitution, in the directive principles of state policy, Article 39F says that children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner and in a condition of freedom and dignity, and that childhood and youth are protected against exploitation and against moral and material abandonment. So this is part of our constitution. This is what the law of the land is. And we are implementing this law of the land. There is no doubt about it. The educational levels, gender education and gender facilities are improving. The girl child, there is a very great movement in India to protect the girl child and see that the girl child prospers. There are a lot of things that are happening, and I think the government is fully committed to it. There is a ministry at the center in the government of India known as Women and Child Welfare Ministry, which looks after all these aspects.
And do you think the level of implementation is at the grassroots level?
Yes, the ICDS program, that is the Integrated Child Development Scheme, is being implemented all through the country, and it's one of the finest schemes which has been hailed by international experts as being very well implemented. The main objective of this ICDS scheme is to improve nutritional health and status of children from 0 to 6 years, proper psychological and physical and social development, reduce mortality, dropouts from school, malnutrition is taken care of, and the most important is lactating mothers are also given care, so that when the child is born, proper care is given to the child. So the ICDS program is a fantastic program which is being implemented with great devotion and sincerity throughout the country. And the midday meal scheme is also a very great scheme that is being implemented in India, and it's doing a very good job, because by having midday meals, providing midday meals, you reduce the number of dropouts. Basic question is about livelihoods. People don't have food, they don't have money to buy food. So the government is giving them midday meals. So that is why children are attracted to schools, so that they get one meal free.
So a lot of significant points are covered under the ICDS program, as you have told us.
Yes.
I would like to come to you, Mrs. Aparna Goel. Dr. Pachori was talking about the midday meal scheme. Does your NGO also has something like that, something which is focused at the overall nutritional development of your children?
Rahul, in our organization, as we don't provide midday meals type things, but yes, we spread awareness amongst our children about nutrition, how they should take their daily diet, and what they should include and what they should not include according to the need of the according to their age, because ours is a very small organization and we don't have so many funds that we can give them a midday meal type thing. But yes, we spread awareness among those kids. They live nearby the societies areas, and they can easily get those nutrition in less money, and we just spread awareness about that.
But Mrs. Aparna, are you okay with the concept of midday meals, because it is a very controversial concept? A lot of time it has been observed that midday meals are not that healthy. So are you okay, as a head of a private NGO, are you okay with the concept of a government scheme called midday meals?
Rahul, frankly speaking, as said by Mr. Pachauri sir, that midday meal is being provided in every government school throughout the country, and it is a good initiative to attract people to go to school, because they see that okay, we will get meal there, fine, we will get books there, we will get uniform there, a bag there, shoe there, sweater there, everything they are getting free of cost. But attracting the girls to the school in terms of midday meal or any other kinds of things does not mean that they are getting quality education, first of all. And midday meal is as the government decides that what should be given to kids. I'm not very knowledgeable person in that what they are giving, that I think some sabudanas or some khichadis or chanas or sometime rotis and puris or aloo ki sabzis are given in the nearby schools when I visit them. But midday meal is a part, but I really don't think that this is the right way to attract people.
So you have raised a good point there, that although midday meal scheme could be good, it can't be good, but it is not the right thing to do to attract children on the basis of midday meals.
Yes.
The basis of attraction should be quality education. This is what your point is.
Yes.
Point well taken, Mrs. Aparna. I'll go to Poonam. Poonam, just a little while back आपने बात करी थी कि एक सेंस ऑफ हाइजीन इनकलकेट हुआ है अमिताशा स्कूल में पढ़कर आपके अंदर. सराउंडिंग इन्वायरमेंट का कितना बड़ा रोल है, जिस जगह आप पढ़ती हैं, जिस तरीके के लोगों के साथ आप उठती बैठती, कितना बड़ा रोल है उसमें, जिसकी वजह से आपको लगता है ये सेंस ऑफ हाइजीन आपके अंदर इनकलकेट हुआ है?
जहाँ मैं पढ़ती हूँ और जहाँ मैं लोगों के साथ उठती बैठती हूँ, वहाँ पे देखा जाए तो बहुत ज़्यादा ही इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ है मेरे साथ, क्योंकि जब मैं पहले जहाँ रहती थी वहाँ पे इतनी बातें नहीं सिखाई जाती थी. तो जब से ये जहाँ से मैं आई हूँ, तो वहाँ पर इतनी सारी चीज़ें नहीं थी, ना ही इतनी अच्छी फैसिलिटीज़ थी और ना ही हाइजीन कुछ भी था. तो जब से मैंने एमिटी में पार्ट लिया है, तब से हाइजीन ये सब बहुत ही बड़ी चीज़ होती है अपनी डेली लाइफ में, जिसको हम यूज़ करते हैं. और इसको यूज़ करने से जो मैन होता है, इवन हर पर्सन, वो उसका स्वास्थ्य जो होता है अच्छा होता है. तो इससे ये भी होता है कि अगर हमारी हाइजीन अच्छी नहीं है, या फिर हमने बिना हाथ धोया खाना खाया, या फिर हम हर रोज़ नहाए ना, तो ये बहुत सारे जर्म्स जो हमारे पास आ जाते हैं और इससे बहुत बीमारियां भी फैल जाती हैं. तो ये कहा जा सकता है कि जिस एनवायरनमेंट में अभी मैं हूँ, वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा हाइजीन है. जिन्होंने मुझे टीचर्स ने भी इसके बारे में बहुत बताया है. और एक बार तो इसके ऊपर एक वर्कशॉप भी थी, जिससे बाहर से लोग आए थे, उन्होंने हाइजीन के ऊपर प्रैक्टिकली करवाया था, और हैंड वॉशिंग की खाने से पहले हैंड वॉश करना चाहिए. तो ये सब चीज़ें बताई गई थी, और उसमें ये भी कहा गया था कि हमेशा हमें साफ़ रहना चाहिए. अगर हम नहाए ना, या फिर हम गंदे तरीके से, तो किसी का बात करने का मन भी नहीं करता. लेकिन अगर हम बिल्कुल क्यूट बन के रहें और साफ़ सुथरे रहें, तो बहुत ही बात करने का मन करता है, उसको हक करने का मन करता है. बस
ये कॉन्फिडेंस झलकता है पूनम आपके शब्दों में जब आप बात करते हैं, और अमिताशा स्कूल ने सचमुच आपके अंदर बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस इनकलकेट करा है. I'll come back to Dr. Pachauri now. Sir, according to the Global Hunger Index Report 2011, India is ranked as the 15th amongst the leading nations with hunger situation. Also, more than 1/3 of the malnourished children live in India. My question to you is that are we lacking on delivering the very basics to the girl child, that is proper diet and nutrition? Like we focus a lot on education. But I think the two basic things are proper diet and
Yes.
sense of hygiene.
Actually, what you must remember is that India is implementing the Millennium Development Goals as set out by the United Nations. One of them is to achieve universal primary education and to promote gender equality and empower women. These are some of the basic things which are being promoted by the United Nations, and India is following them very seriously. Now, nutrition is a very important factor, and now I think recently the government has decided that free meals are good, but they should be more nutritive meals also. And for that purpose, what they're trying to do is, earlier there was a controversy that they'll have packaged meals, but now they're going to give only hot and ready-made meals, which will include nutritional part also.
So that is one thing on which we all are on the same page.
Yes,
the
yes,
the
yes.
private NGOs,
Yes, yes,
the government
yes,
policies,
yes,
that
yes.
the meal should not be, the meal should be nutritive.
That's very true.
Just the meals are not enough. They should have a nutritive value.
Right.
And this is, I think, one point on which we all will agree.
Yes.
I'll come back to Jyoti since we are talking about nutrition. There are a lot of co-curricular activities in your school. There are a lot of sports activities, then your normal studies. How do you cope up with everything? You have to take a good intake of nutrition to do all this and then to excel in whatever you are doing. How do your parents support you and how does your school support you? And do you think this is important?
Yeah, this is really important. Our chairperson, Dr. Amita Chauhan ma'am, is very concerned about our health and nutrition. वो समय समय पर हमारे लिए वर्कशॉप कंडक्ट करवाती है. बहुत सारे डॉक्टर्स आते हैं. They tell us that how nutrition is important, what should you eat, what are the good things for girls to eat, and blood को बढ़ाने के लिए तुम्हें क्या खाना चाहिए. There are a lot of things which doctor taught us in workshop. और वर्कशॉप में हमें सारी हैंड वॉशिंग की बातें बताई जाती हैं. जो भी चीज़ें हाइजीन के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट होती है वो सारी में वर्कशॉप के थ्रू बताई जाती है. तो इस वजह से हमें हाइजीन और न्यूट्रिशन के बारे में बहुत पता चल चुका है, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ आर अमिता चौहान मैम. एंड पेरेंट्स, हम स्कूल से बातें सीख के जाते हैं वो हम अपने पेरेंट्स और अपने भाई बहनों से ज़रूर शेयर करते हैं, सो दैट दे कैन ऑल्सो गेट सम पॉइंट्स कि किस लिए ज़रूरी होता है हाइजीन और किस लिए ज़रूरी होती है न्यूट्रिशन. तो स्कूल हमें बहुत हेल्प करता है हाइजीन और न्यूट्रिशन को जानने के लिए.
Dr. Pachauri, you wanted to add something
Yes.
there, please.
I wanted to say that regular weighing the child, whether the child is put on weight, will be a sure indicator that nutritious meals are being given. And that is, I think, being practiced in Amitasha. Regular weight check is being done, because if you check the weight, you will also come to know whether the child has got nutritious meals or not. And Amitasha is following that.
As the program coordinator of Amitasha, I would also like to add there that we have a medical camp, annual medical camp, in which they are given height checkups,
Yes,
weight
yes,
checkups,
yes.
and nutritional
Yes.
talks, and everything is given to
Yes,
them.
yes.
So we all agree that Amitasha is the right model, and
Right.
somewhere private NGOs like Mrs. Aparna Goyal's Prabhav is the right model. So that is why I would like to ask you, Mrs. Aparna, do you think that in our schools a lot of focus is done on education and co-curricular activities? What else steps which you think we can take to put a lot of focus on nutritional values also and sense of hygiene also, because these are two topics which are sometimes lagged behind. We don't focus them on that much as we focus on education.
Rahul, in my opinion, that as I said before, that quality education is must to impart to the kids, especially to the girls, because to my belief, girls is the women is the destiny of civilization. They change the destiny of civilization. And if a girl is not aware of hygiene and doesn't get nutritional food, it cannot be done. And both the things, hygiene and nutrition, is related to education. You see, it's just like you can draw a triangle, put education on top and hygiene and nutrition at the bottom of the triangle, because everything what we are talking about here just directly relate to education. As she said ki washing of hands is a symbolic thing for hygiene, you know. It's a symbolic thing from hygiene. And I must tell you, I must share with you that according to the UNICEF reports 2011, 638 million people in India defecate in open. they defecate in open. 66% of girls in schools drop out, because I just said before that in whole, if we are talking about whole country, not only Delhi, in rural areas there are no girls toilet after 5th class. The girls don't go to school, parents don't want to send them to school. And the main thing is that nutrition is one thing that every child should know, every girl should know why they should get nutritional food, as when they grow, when they are about to menstruate, their body needs more nutrition than any other person. When they come to the age of 18 years and when they get married, when they get pregnant, they give birth to another life, the calcium runs out from their bones. They need to have that calcium also. They need to have that iron also, which don't make them anemic. If you go back to surveys of India, ladies are the most anemic persons in this country, because they don't eat nutritional food during their pregnancy, during their menstrual days. And it is, I think we should include this as a subject for girls in school, that I think 66% of women in India, they don't know about anything about menstruation until they start, because there are reasons for no knowledge, that it is cultural or economic reasons, maybe taboo, that we don't want to talk about, like sex. It is a taboo, we don't want to talk about that, and it is a very secret and shameful process for girls, that mother says, oh you are going through, please stay away, please. Maybe there were scientific reasons in ancient India, but now we are having facilities, and they have no money to have that branded product to maintain their hygiene.
Mrs. Aparna, a little while back you were also talking about menstruation hygiene, and you raised a good point there about that it should be made mandatory in government schools. So Dr. Pachauri, I'll ask you that, since you have been in government for a lot of time, do you agree that some education in menstruation hygiene should be taught necessarily in government schools?
Very much so. It is absolutely correct what she is saying. Actually, one of the reasons why there is so much of infant mortality and maternal mortality in this country is precisely for this reason. You see, a mother, when she grows up, she's hardly had any nutritive food. So how can she go through the process of childbearing? So either she dies or the child dies, because there's no nutrition. So this is one thing which has to be pointed out. India has one of the highest percentages of maternal mortality and infant mortality in the world. A girl child, when she grows up, she is malnutritioned, and when she bears the child is also suffering and exposed to diseases. So that is one of the reasons why we have so much of maternal mortality and child mortality in India.
Mrs. Aparna, you wanted to add something in that?
Yeah, I agree to Pachauri sir, but I just want to share with you the UNICEF figures, data, that in 2012 there were 225 million adolescents, under which 110 million girls. And I really shocked to read this, that 30% of girls give birth to their first child when they're at the age of 13 or 14. Now you see, when the girls at the age of 13 or 40, they give birth to a child when they don't know about themselves, how they could take good care of those child. And under that, 41 girls die to the maternal mortality और infant mortality. या तो बच्चा मर जाता है या माँ मर जाती है, क्योंकि उन्हें यही नहीं पता होता मुझे क्या खाना है, कैसे उसको रखना है, मेरे को अपने सराउंडिंग्स का हाइजीन कैसा रखना चाहिए कि मुझे इन्फेक्शंस ना हो, क्योंकि प्रेगनेंसी एक ऐसा समय होता है जब औरत को सबसे ज़्यादा सतर्कता की और केयर की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. एंड दिस इज़ ऑल कम्स थ्रू एजुकेशन ओनली, व्हाट आई थिंक. एंड यहाँ मैं ये भी ऐड करना चाहूँगी, इन बच्चियों के लिए बताना चाहूँगी जो सब यहाँ सुन रहे हैं, कि शिक्षा एक ऐसी योग्यता है जो जीवन में आने वाली किसी परिस्थिति को हम जिसे उसका सामना कर सकते हैं. तो एजुकेशन तो it is a weapon in your hand. You can use it anywhere where you want to.
I must confess that our panelists, Mrs. Aparna Goyal and Dr. Pachauri, along with Amitasha Girls, have taken this topic on agenda to a different level, and they've actually told our listeners how important is right education, proper sense of hygiene, and right nutrition for girl children in India. On that note, I'll take concluding statements from each one of you on this topic, and of course your message to the girl children of the country on the eve of the Girl Child Day. Jyoti.
मैं सब लोगों को यह कहना चाहूँगी कि गर्ल्स आर द पिलर्स ऑफ सोसाइटी. अगर गर्ल्स नहीं होंगी तो कोई नहीं. इफ़ यू आर एजुकेटिंग अ गर्ल, आप पूरी फैमिली को एजुकेट कर रहे हैं, तो एजुकेशन बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट है गर्ल के लिए. जिस तरह एजुकेशन इम्पॉर्टेंट है, उसी तरह हेल्थ एंड न्यूट्रिशन और हाइजीन भी बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. ये चारों मिलकर ही एक गर्ल की पर्सनालिटी को इन्हांस करते हैं. ये चारों मिलकर, अगर एजुकेशन तो लड़की की पर्सनालिटी को इन्हांस करने के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है ही, पर अगर हाइजीन और न्यूट्रिशन नहीं हो तो वो शी वोंट बी एबल टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट इन हर स्टडीज़. वो पढ़ाई कैसे करेगी? तो इसलिए इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू टेक केयर ऑफ हर हाइजीन, टू टेक केयर ऑफ हर न्यूट्रिशन. बस मैं यह कहना चाहूँगी कि सभी गर्ल्स को न्यूट्रिशन और प्रॉपर हाइजीन दिया जाए.
It's a beautiful message which you have given her, Jyoti, that if you educate a girl, you educate a family. पूनम, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगी?
मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि एजुकेशन, जैसे मैम ने बताया अभी कि ट्रायंगल होता है, इसमें एजुकेशन सबसे टॉप पर रखा जाता है और इसके बॉटम में न्यूट्रिशन एंड हाइजीन रखा जाता है. तो ये चीज़ बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट है. तो जब हम शिक्षा पा रहे हैं, और एजुकेशन जितनी इम्पॉर्टेंट एजुकेशन है उतना ही इम्पॉर्टेंट हाइजीन एंड न्यूट्रिशन होता है. क्योंकि जब हम ग्रोथ करते हैं, हमारी बॉडी ग्रोथ करती है, तो इसके लिए ये दोनों चीज़ बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट होती है, जो कि एजुकेशन से आती है. तो ये बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट है. और सबसे बड़ी चीज़ तो ये होगी कि अगर हमें इन दोनों चीज़ों के बारे में पता नहीं होगा तो हम किसी चीज़ पर कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर पाएंगे कि हम क्या करने जा रहे हैं. तो एजुकेशन एंड हाइजीन एंड न्यूट्रिशन बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है एक लड़की के लाइफ में, क्योंकि लड़कियों को इससे बहुत हेल्प मिलती है और वो बाकी का भी काम बहुत अच्छे से कर सकती है इन सब चीज़ों को लेकर के.
Dr. Pachauri, your concluding thoughts.
The best way to bring about inclusive society, which is one of the targets and one of the objectives of the current plan, the 12th plan, is to create an inclusive society, and that can be best done by institutions like Amitasha, which give an inclusive education, which give a total education from all aspects, education and good health, good hygiene, moral and ethical development, value systems. I think that is one of the best ways. If we should have more Amitashas in this country, so that the girl child will be benefited and also they will become future good citizens. If their education is taken care of, if these two things are taken care of, health and education, they will become good citizens and the country will prosper.
So Amitasha is the right model,
Yes,
right
it's
project.
right model.
This is what you're saying.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you, Mr. Pachauri.
Yes.
Mrs. Aparna Goyal.
First of all, I would like to congratulate on the Daughters' Day, National
Day of
Girls' Day, 24th January today. And I must say that the hand that rocks the cradle, the procreator, the mother of tomorrow, and the woman shape the destiny of the civilization. As it is said here that if you educate a girl, you educate generations, not only family. You educate generations. And my clear message to all the girls listening to this radio, Amity Radio, that define success in your own terms. Achieve it by your own rules and make a world that you are proud to live in. And I must congratulate Amitasha that it is a very good initiative to take care of girls in India. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Aparna Goyal. I would like to thank all my panelists, Mrs. Aparna Goyal, Dr. Pachauri, and of course the Amitasha girls. Thank you so much for joining us, and I want to wish you all a very happy Girl Child Day. A very happy Girl Child Day to all my listeners too. Stay tuned to Amity Radio 107.8 FM as we along with Amitasha celebrate the National Day of the Girl Child. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
देखा है मैंने